Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am club. It's Saturday morning. It's still dark. It's fairly mild. No wind about. It's not raining, but it is very, very overcast and cloudy. So I just jumped off the bus and heading to work, and would love to take this opportunity to take you through another book summary on Jim's 5am club. And I'm just realising that I'm running out of time to get myself a photo sitting in that magic 60 number, because my 61st birthday is coming up 27th of May. So I've got another month to get that photo before it's no longer relevant. Anyway, let's keep on moving. And today I want to take you through a book summary entitled Move Your Bus. Move Your Bus. And it's a book written by a fellow named Ron Clark. And it's a book about teamwork, about how to work with different people in a team environment. And the author makes a very, very important observation. And he says that treating everybody fairly isn't treating everyone equally. Because we need to understand that there are group dynamics, and that all people have different gifts, different strengths that they bring to the table. And we need to understand that and to be able to leverage it as best we can. So what's this book all about? Move Your Bus. So the author, in his first formal point, says that high expectations are good, are really good, as long as it's possible for everyone to deliver on those expectations. So what is he getting at? And he says that the Move Your Bus metaphor is all about teamwork, and the bus that he's referring to, and the bus that we're referring to is the bus that they had on the Flintstones. I don't know if you remember the Flintstones, but the Flintstones was a cartoon from the 60s where Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble and Wilbur and Betty were fictional cartoon characters that grew up in the Stone Age. And the bus that the Flintstones had was a bus where people would get on, and I'm about to get on the light rail, but everybody who got onto the bus had to move their feet in order for the bus to move. So that's the analogy that the author uses, and that's the thing that will go through this book summary. So the bus is an analogy on teamwork, because in order to move the bus, everybody needs to work together, and we need to harness their unique and individual gifts. So the author says here that if your expectations are too low, or if your expectations are too high, you basically get the same outcome. You get a zero outcome, because if the expectations are too low, people just don't bother turning up, or don't bother doing what they need to do. And if the expectations are too high, people once again just give up and don't contribute. So where is this leading us? So the second key point to come out of this book is to understand that each and every person,
The next stop
each
is
and every
Circular
person
Quay.
operates at a different level, and that we need to work with people at the individual level to get the right outcomes and the right contributions, and to also understand that high expectations are different for everyone. You know, for some people, an expectation may be achievable, whereas for somebody else it may be too high. And the author then takes us through and explains to us that on a bus there are different levels of people. You know, you've got different groups of people on the bus. One group of people are the drivers. They're the ones who steer the bus and coordinate the direction of the bus, and they're seen as the people in an organisation or a group who are the leaders, the managers. Then you've got a group called the runners, and they're the ones who are the top performers, who are always working hard and always working to the best of their abilities, and don't need much leadership, don't need much pushing, don't need much guidance. They just understand what their objectives are and just get on with it. Then you've got another group who are called the joggers, who are diligent workers, who are good at what they do, and on occasion they switch to high performance, but most of the time they just plod along. The next group are called the walkers, who are the ones who work, who've been there for a while, but don't like much change, and are the ones who tend to slow down the rest of the group, the rest of the people on the bus. And the last group are the riders, and the riders are the ones who are just basically passengers and will only run or do anything when they're being watched or being pushed. And I reckon this analogy is quite powerful, quite interesting, and very, very useful to understanding the dynamics of how teams operate and how teams perform, and how we can see ourselves in a team environment. So another key message to come out of this book is that we need to be patient, and we don't, and most importantly, this is one of a very, very powerful lesson. We need to be patient, but we need to understand that most importantly of all, we need to rid ourselves of the sense of entitlement, to anything. If you want to grow, develop, and thrive in meritocracy, one of the biggest poisons, one of the biggest problems that families and groups have is when people think that they are worthy and that they are entitled to things, because the author says that at the end of the day, regardless of who you are, you need to let go of your sense of entitlement, because nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you their attention. Nobody owes you money. Nobody owes you recognition or acknowledgement. And the quicker you learn this, the better off you're going to be, because living with a sense of entitlement is a poison chalice that's going to disappoint you and lead you to a lot of pain, I guess, is the bottom line. The other thing is that the author says here is that you need to be appreciative and to recognise good performance. And if you're working in a team environment where you've got people who are runners and high performers, then it's important for you to be able to recognise and acknowledge their efforts, and to allow them to get their just rewards and to basically be humble. The basic point to come out of this book is that we all need to be humble members of a team if you want to be able to survive and thrive in an organisation and a group. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. As you can see, morning is starting to break. It's a little bit overcast, a gentle breeze. The breeze is coming from the west, and I can see on top of the Museum of Contemporary Art we've got a number of flags at half-mast. I don't know whether or not that is for yesterday or today. I'll keep an eye on it throughout the day. But wishing everybody a wonderful Saturday, and let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay reasonable, stay relevant, and most importantly, let's stay humble, as the author says here, and to not only stay humble, but to also, what was the other point? Also get rid of any sense of entitlement that we have, so that we can live a balanced life, and to learn to work as a team member, because we're parts of many different teams. We're parts of family teams, we're parts of work teams, we're parts of community teams, and we need to, as I said before, rid ourselves of a sense of entitlement, and to see ourselves as a contributor, and to understand that within a team, within a family, within a community, there are people who are at different stages of their growth and development, and who are at different levels or have different capabilities. Some are drivers, some are runners, some are walkers, some are passengers, and to understand that each person will contribute as much as they can, and for the leaders and the parents and the managers to be able to work with each person on an individual level to help them understand what their contribution is, and to seek to get the best out of each person, and to understand that in order to treat people equally, or to strive for equality, you need to treat people differently. So I think I'll leave it there. So Yassas, take care, have a great Saturday, and we'll chat again shortly. Bye for now.